Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. Alright. Alright. Hello, hello, hello. Vader says, as much shit as Bleach gets, I feel like Ichigo is a fairly well-written MC. No, Ichigo is absolute ass. Ichigo used to be my favorite MC over Luffy. I think until... I don't know. For a little bit, he was my favorite MC over Luffy. Until probably like high school or something like that. There's just nothing to Ichigo. Listen, I know I'm late, but what's the good news? Who can tell me what the good news is right now? Who can tell me what the good news is right now? The mic is fixed. The mic is fixed. The mic is fixed, correct? You guys can hear well. I can be speaking from far away, you can hear. I can come over here and you guys can hear, right? Right? Mic is fixed. Wait, actually, let me do one thing. At the risk of fucking things up further, let me do one thing, because I was told that this is even better. Hold on. First of all, how's the audio? You guys want the audio like this? You guys want the audio like this? The frustrating thing about Ichigo is that, like, I see the arguments about him turning into, like, oh, well, Ichigo doesn't need a motivation like becoming the first Hokage, or like becoming a Hokage or Pirate King or something like that. But that's just such a shitty straw man, because it's like, nobody says that needs to be his motivation. He doesn't need a career goal, you know? Nobody's saying like, hey, why doesn't Ichigo have a specific job that he wants, you know? It's just that the motivation of, like, it's working with, like, in general, most shonen characters want to protect their friends or whatever, right? Ichigo, it's like, that's like a baseline, like, simple thing that pretty much everybody's down for. Like, yeah, Deku wants to protect his friends too, you know? Luffy wants to protect his friends too. Naruto wants to fucking protect, like, they all want to fucking protect, like, that's the basic, right? The idea is that's like your marble that you start with, which is like, this is a good guy, main character, right? Cares about his friends. The fucking shonen, it's for like 12-year-old boys, right? They want to protect friends, whatever. Like, that's a simple goal to give kids, right? And then you work with something a little bit more, right? Something that can actually give them, you know, development, a greater, like, a motivation that drives them, a through line of sorts, right? Everybody's down to protect, like, fucking Gon wants to protect Killua and shit, right? With Ichigo, Kubo basically stopped at, like, he just wants to protect his friends. That's just it. Just wants to protect his friends. And the problem is that also, like, a lot of these connections are very shallow. I think a bigger problem I have is that Kubo is really fucking bad at writing friendship dynamics. The fucking, like, if you compare, like, the Straw Hats and the bonds that the Straw Hats have as a group, and the time and care and meticulousness, and just, like, not even that, like, just the natural ability for Oda to write interactions between the Straw Hats and have them bounce off of each other, right? Compare that to, like, the fucking, like, funeral squad that's Ichigo and his pals. Like, Ichigo and pals fucking suck. Ichigo's friends, like, the dynamic between Ichigo, Ishida, Chad, it's just like a fucking, it's like a fucking most Debbie Downer squad of characters you could ever have. There's not fun interactions between them. You're never watching the four of, like, Orihime too. Like, they're all really fucking low. It's not a bubbly friendship dynamic. You never feel like they're really, really, really tight or something like that. Outside of when they're going to, you know, fight. Like, they're all like, oh, well, we got to go protect person of the day or whatever, right? So then they're all gearing up and going to launch this raid on whatever the fuck they're supposed to be launching a raid on, right? It's happened several times in the story, right? But I don't feel like the friendship dynamic there feels tight. I don't feel like Kubo is inherently good at writing fun friendship interactions between characters. So, like, it's a fucking solemn, somber little group of characters, and then Ichigo's whole motivation being to protect said characters feels, like, really fucking forced to me. Like, I just hate the straw man of, like, oh, just because Ichigo doesn't want to become, like, Hokage or Pirate King, like, is Ichigo supposed to want to be the Soul King? It's like, no, dude. There's other fucking motivations that characters can have, you know? Like, write a fucking through line for the character. That's all that anybody's asking for. He doesn't have a through line. He has nothing. He does not change much throughout the story, right? You could argue that Luffy doesn't change, but Luffy actually does change. He has moments of change and growth or whatever. But for the most part, Luffy is the same. But at the same time, there's a lot more depth to Luffy's character that we get. Ichigo there's not the depth either, right? He's a fucking static, flat character for the most part. Morio Anime says, Morj, we need a Hunter x Hunter stream. It doesn't have to be on the channel. Tagashi has been cooking. We are doing a Hunter x Hunter stream, guaranteed on Monday. Monday will be a guaranteed Hunter x Hunter stream. Guaranteed Hunter x Hunter stream. Luna says, Thorfinn GOAT. Thorfinn was, for a brief period of time, he was, not brief period of time, by the end of chapter 100 in Vinland Saga, by the end of the farm arc in Vinland Saga, Thorfinn was the GOAT main character for me. He actually replaced Luffy for me as my favorite main character, which is very difficult, but he did it. Thorfinn replaced Ichigo for me. And sorry, not Ichigo. Luffy for me. And he did it by like a large margin. I was just like, this is the best. I felt like Thorfinn's character arc between the prologue arc through the farm arc was the single best character arc and best character writing that I'd ever. I didn't even like Thorfinn in the fucking prologue arc. I disliked him. So for him to go from that to what he was at the end of the farm arc, I felt like that was the best character arc, best character writing, and my favorite main character that I'd ever seen in the medium of shonen anime and manga. I would go so far as to say it was my favorite character arc of any medium ever. Thorfinn's from prologue to farm arc. I feel like everything that happened after that in the Baltic Sea War arc neutered a lot of that growth and made it feel much more hollow to me. And it felt like it fell back into like more generic, cliched character writing. And basically said that a lot of the story that was told in the previous two arcs actually didn't make him change fully in the ways that it was implied he had changed. Yeah. Oh, there's I don't know what happens in the Vinland arc, so I can't really say anything there. So please no, I'm just saying what happened in the Baltic Sea War arc. But I just can't. I'm gonna go as far as to say that the stuff that happened in the Baltic Sea War and how much it made Thorfinn's growth feel hollow to me and much more cliche and generic, it neutered my enjoyment. It made me stop reading Vinland, because I was just like, I feel like I can't trust that this story will, like, I felt like the profound story that it had already told, it just walked back pieces of it for no real reason other than to have additional conflict and move the plot along. And so I'm like, how am I supposed to feel invested again in Thorfinn's storyline when it just feels like his arc is actually just going in circles a little bit? Benhart says, Morj, how many protagonists are we going to rank today? I don't know. I have to make the tier list. Let's see. Batman for real, thanks for the 5. Did you see that Daniel Green shouted out your egghead analysis in his new video? Oh, thank you. I didn't know about him. Also, thank you for telling me that, but that's very kind of him. I didn't know. I thought he actually didn't cover One Piece anymore or something like that. I never got around to watching his reviews of the series, but that's nice to hear. Also, just go ahead and put Taro Sakamoto in S tier. Thank you, love you. We're only going to put characters that I know. All right? So let's get to it. All right? Also, let's get the stream likes up to 50 real quick. Eric Reed says, Gintoki took my number 1 spot. First of all, again, is the audio good? I actually didn't see... I've seen a lot of people talking about Don to Don, the new episode. I guess I got to catch that because I've heard so many good things about it. Is this audio good? Everyone likes the audio? Audio's perfect. I'm so happy. All right. My editor and I, we took some time. We determined it is a hardware issue, so something is wrong with the mic or the amplifier or the second or the mic, the tech box or the amplifier or one of the cords. So we haven't figured out which one of those it is, but shit was moved around enough and settings were played with enough that now it is listenable to you guys. What is coming soon is one of those mic arms that I can like adjust or whatever, like other streamers have. I was just lazy about it and didn't get it. It's just the way it is. Vanilla says, audio good, but what's up with Wano, Morj? Wano, there's 2 options. Next week's video is not Wano. I am going to try and see if we can push... I mean, I don't want to do false promises, right? I can just tell the truth, which is I'm going to see if I can try to push to get it out in the following week of the break week. Because the script is mostly good. It's just going to be a matter of like recording. The problem is that it's way longer than other analysis videos I've done. So other ones top out at about an hour. This one is easily much closer to 2 hours, right? So I I don't have a good past gauge on how long it's gonna take. So I kind of have to decide if I want to take a gamble or not. Because if I try to push it out to get it out in the second week of the break weeks, then what I'm committing to is basically recording the whole thing and doing all the image annotations and getting the editing rolling with my editor, etc. And then the review process, reviewing like an hour and a half, 2 hour long videos, very long, all of that. So I'm basically committing to not having another One Piece video for that week because I'd be going all in on the Wano video, which could be okay. That could work out. If it doesn't work out, then basically I can't finish Wano, then I would have no One Piece video to do for the week, and that would be pretty bad. So I don't know. I might just go for it though. But I don't want to. I'm not going to promise anything there. Let's create a tier list here. Also, I hope that Oda's okay. It does sound like there's going to be more breaks going forward. There was a lot of controversy about whether or not this is due to him working on the live action, and people saying that he should stop working on the live action, etc. At the end of the day, it's like, I don't think he should stop working on the live action, but I think that, like, let's be real. The simplest, like, if we're being real, there is a clear solution to Oda's problems, right? So, like, the fault is not the live action. The fault is not, it's not even Weekly Shonen Jump because, like, they give him lots of his breaks and stuff like that. And a lot of readers, I don't think readers even put that much, like, I think a lot of readers would be okay if Oda went to once every 2 weeks or something. I personally feel like it's none of those things. At the end of the day, it comes down to Oda himself. It just comes down to Oda himself because the biggest issue is that he still feels the need to draw everything, right? He doesn't need to be drawing everything. There's One Piece's art style is a very simple art style for professional artists to mimic, right? It's not like it's Berserk or something like that. And most people are not reading One Piece for the art. I think One Piece has charming art and it suits the story and people like One Piece's art style, right? But ultimately that's not a main, once every several chapters or so we're like wowed by a certain spread or something like that. But generally chapter to chapter, we're One Piece fans first and foremost because of the story and the writing. I do wish that he was willing to take his... I know that assistants draw backgrounds and stuff like that, but I do wish that he was willing to compromise a little bit in terms of the need to be the one to be drawing everything, because he could keep his, it would just be so much. It would just be so much like such a beautiful world for him if he didn't have to kill himself actually drawing every single panel. Like if he could just do the storyboarding of it, and if he could rely on other people to do the drawing and artwork of the panels, and he could still do some key panels that are important to him, but if he was willing to do that, I think that one, it would help the story, it would help his health, and it honestly might help the artwork as well, because One Piece's art has gotten more and more cluttered, and if you compare it to past artwork in the story, it was cleaner, in my opinion, in the past. So I personally think that it would give him more time to spend with his family. It would mean that taking trips like the live action doesn't overwork him. That's just my thought. At the same time, I recognize what's important to him as a creator, as a creative mind. And for him, I think he said in the past that the thing that is most satisfying to him as a mangaka is when he draws a very impactful panel or something like that. He gets up, stands... he will literally get up after drawing it, walk around the room, do a victory pose or something like that. That is what is most important to him. So at the end of the day, it's just it's a artistic desire to still be the one doing that, even if at the end of the day, for I think the majority of the fandom or whatever, we really want his story and his writing more than anything. What his passion seems to be is the drawing and the artwork. So it's just, I get it, but at the same time, it's the situation is avoidable, right? It's similar to me with Tagashi. Tagashi has a much worse health condition, obviously, but at the same time, I have a point of frustration, which is just that I just don't think Tagashi needs to, I like Tagashi's art style for moments and stuff, and he does some really good panels, but we love him for the story and the writing, man. And like the story has become more and more text and writing heavy. I'm sure they have people in their ears mentioning stuff like, hey, what if you just didn't write it, etc. But this is a thing where it's like a lot of what their struggle is in terms of getting it out is self-inflicted, because it's not something that I don't think, it's something I think that they're doing for themselves rather than what readers are asking of them, or what the like manga is demanding weekly, but they are making it harder on themselves by sticking to one thing that they really, really like and don't want to let go of doing, rather than outsourcing it when it's not the main thing that many readers care that much about. And they could still draw panels, they just wouldn't have to draw every panel. That's my main thought on that. But I get it. It's artistic, creative desire. That's why they got into it in the first place. I suppose it does reflect something it's more important for them to finish it out the right way, with them being the ones drawing it, rather than just focus on the business or the money end of things or their own work. Like they're putting it's purely love of the craft. They're putting their love of the craft above, monetary potential, right? Being able to get chapters out more frequently, yada yada. They're putting it above monetary potential. They're putting it above their work life, like family balance and stuff like that. They're putting their desire to draw above all of that, even though it's really not needed. So it's a complicated issue. Nile Show, thanks for the 5. Do you think Ben Beckman and Rayleigh have higher or lower bounties than Loki? Also, I think you should explore Blackbeard's lineage for getting Luffy's fruit. I think Rayleigh does. I don't think Ben Beckman does. Blackbeard's lineage for getting Luffy's fruit. I don't know what that means. You're saying like he might be a buccaneer, and that could allow him to eat another fruit? Also, let's get the stream likes up to 100 real quick. Yeah, people just don't want others to draw their manga for them. Remix Gang, thanks for the 5. Morj, in the future, if you need a tier list made, just reach out to me, bro. Thanks, man. TomTom also made honestly, Remix King, maybe I could use a tier list now. Let's see. I might hit you up. TomTom, I know, also recently made me an island side characters tier list that we'll save for a rainy day. Basim El Madawi, thanks for the 2. Onizuka is S tier in the anime. As always, peace. Thank you. I think, let's see. Yeah, we can't ask them to give up what they love. I agree, Virgil Hawkins. At the same time, it's just like, at the end of the day, the level of difficulty of what they're doing is largely self-imposed, because the quality would not go down if they asked somebody else to do the art. The quality would arguably go up. Because even if you want to argue, well, like certain panels, like certain fantastic spreads, like Loki's introduction or the Gorosei forms or something, only Oda can do, that's fine. He could just focus on those spreads and leave all the nitty-gritty, smaller things to other people, right? So there is the reality is that there is a solution that would make their lives easier, make them more money, allow the quality of their creation to go up. It's like it's a win-win for everybody, readers included, but they don't want to do that because they love the thing that they love doing about it too much. So it is ultimately, they're killing themselves for their craft when they don't have to, because the craft can still succeed and be just as good / better if they don't do the difficult route. That's my thought. Maybe that's controversial, but it's also just pragmatic, I guess, which might make it controversial. I don't know. Okay, let's get into the tier list maker. Let's get into this shit. Give me a second here. All right, we're gonna move some shit. What do we got here? Okay. All right. I'm setting shit up. I'm actually doing a collab with Civ after this. I don't know if it's supposed to be a streamed collab or what, but we're doing a collab after this. I should follow up with him on that. Let me send him a text. Hold on. Well, let me pull up the tier maker first. Let me do one thing at a time. Kazzy says, why are we streaming so early? So I think in general, heads up. In general, because chapters have started coming out. First of all, announcement. All right? Announcement. Because chapters have started coming out inconsistently, What we're going to aim for, once the chapters do come back, is streaming regularly on Fridays. Thursdays are no longer a reliable day for the chapter to come out, and I don't want to be caught in between, like, okay, if it comes out on Thursday, some weeks I do it on Thursday. If it comes out on Friday, some weeks I do it on Friday. I'm just going to stick to Fridays, right? Keeps it consistent, gives some buffer period for the chapter to come out and everything like that. I need that for my own sanity, right? I can't be swapping back as much because there's other life shit that happens that you need to shuffle around based on the chapter release. So we're going to stick to Friday covering the chapter, including streams. Streams will be Fridays. Friday during the day is what we're going to be sticking to because I can't do Friday evenings. So we're going to stick to Friday during the days. I feel like that's a bit of a balance because that way Mondays are the evening streams, Fridays are the daytime streams. Yeah. Kanal Dashawal, thanks a lot. Hi Morj, first time solo traveling on a bus now. Oh, congrats, man. That's fun. Solo traveling on a bus. Yeah, good shit. I hope you know what? Liven up that bus. Take your headphones out, put the volume on blast, let everybody tune in on that bus to hear what this stream's about. And, at first I bet everyone will be like, hey, what are you doing? Turn that shit off, kid. And then they'll listen, and then they'll hear me talking about how UG is a shitty MC, and then everybody on the bus will be like, oh yeah, you know what? This guy's got something going on there. Turn that volume up, kid. And then everyone on the bus will clap as I explain why UG fucking sucks. I think that's the way it'll go, in my opinion. So I suggest taking the headphones out. Tomziag Davis. Tomziag Davis. Thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 18 months, man. Hey, Morj, what do you think of Dragon taking over the Marines after their reform? He was in the Navy and clearly a good leader. Thoughts? Man... Some people would argue that Dragon's not a good leader. Dragon's not doing no raid on Hachinosu to get Kobe back, that's for sure. We know that. Dragon taking over the Marines. It's tricky because I don't know if that would be his, Dragon taking over the Marines. Is he best suited there? Is he better suited to be a part of the world government? I actually never thought about that. I figured that the Marines... I feel like... I would go ahead and say that I feel like the Marines should be... The new version of the Marines, I feel like they should be taken over by a character that's already in the Marines. I think that is more important. Like a Fujitora or a Kobe or the Smoker, even though he's kind of out of the running. I feel like that is more important at the end of the day for the Marines to be reformed from the inside. I think symbolically that's better as well. I don't know, though, what the future for Dragon would be outside at the end of the story. There's options. Dragon could die, but it is One Piece, so that's less likely. At the same time, Shanks dying and Dragon dying, it'd be like a lot of that generation die. I don't know if Oda would do that. Dragon could just drift off and be on his own. I don't know. I don't know if he would want... I don't think we know enough about Dragon to really understand his character, like his personality, and what might make sense for him at the end of the story. Real Linskoff, thanks for being a Pirate King tier member for 14 months, man. Always good to see you. Do you think Blackbeard will try to make a deal with the world nobles to become king by dealing with the revolutionaries and giving them a food source again? Could be what Lafitte was doing. Make a deal with the world nobles to become... Oh, Jay's in chat. What's up, Ed? Justice for Morj? Justice for Morj? What's Justice for Morj? Wait, is injustice happening to me right now? Fuck, I gotta catch up. What's Jay talking about? I agree with justice. I agree with the sentiment, but I want to know what the injustice is happening. I need to know what the injustice is. Blackbeard will try to make a deal with the world nobles to become king by dealing with the revolutionaries and giving them a food source again. Could be what Lafitte is doing. I do agree, Linskoff, that is likely what is happening right now. I think it's going to be Blackbeard's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. I think that it's going to be a twofold approach. It's going to be, I guess, it's going to be a bit of carrot and stick, right? So I think he's going to deal with the revolutionaries, give the Celestial Dragons a food source again. So he's doing them a favor. So that's going to doing a favor opens the door to negotiation, right? Because now you're kind of on we got to entertain this guy, right? He helped us. Okay, what do you want, right? That's going to start the what do you want conversation. 2 is he's got Garp. So it's kind of like, I want to be king, and I just helped you guys out. And here's like one additional piece that will, sway things over, right? It's a little bit of blackmail or whatever, but it's all, you could also call it a fair trade because Garp actually attacked them first. They didn't go out and snag Garp. Garp just showed up at the front door, and they're like, okay, if Garp's here at our front door, then we'll just put him in a box and wrap a bow on it, and we'll gift him back to Morj. So I think it'll be twofold, right? So first, the favor of reopening the food supply, and then second, the dangling the piece of Garp the hero for them. I think that would make sense as enough leverage to get him to king. I do think the king plotline has to go somewhere, so I do see Blackbeard ultimately succeeding in this plot. I think that's pretty interesting because that's, like the king request is a tall order considering Blackbeard's a Yonko, but to do both, Doflamingo was a Shichibukai and a king at the same time. The One Piece world has seen some crazy shit. Just doing both. Like, fucking Germa is known as an army of evil. Like, literally known as an army of evil, and they're invited to the reverie and shit. They're kings. I think that could follow, because, like, it is a long shot. Like, even just having Garp would be a lot to get him to king, but, like, the twofold combination of, like, let's free up your food supply, basically save your guys' lives. You got your food supply back or whatever. And now I've got the trade conversation coming up, so now I can trade Garp back. I think that could be enough. I think that would make sense. I agree with Justice for Morj. I'm on board with Jay. Remix King, thanks for the 2. If you stall for 10 minutes and let me know who you want, I got you. All right. Wait, Remix King's got us. Remix King's making a tier list. All right. Thanks, Remix King. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. Quickly. Who are we getting on our tier list? All right. Here's what I would like. I'll rattle off who I would like, and then chat can chime in with other people possibly. Okay, Remix King, are you all ears potentially right now? Are you all ears? All right, here we go. Let's get Luffy, right? How far back do I go? Luffy, Goku, right? Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay. Trying to start from further back and working my way forward. I'm gonna forget people. I'm sorry. I don't think going from back to front is the best way. Whatever. Yeah. Goku, Yusuke, Luffy. Here, maybe I'll send a message in Twitter. I'll send a message on Twitter. All right. Am I screen sharing right now? Hope I'm not screen sharing. Not screen sharing. Okay. All right, man. Give me a second here. Let me get on Twitter. I appreciate the help. Hey man, here's what I'm thinking, and you guys chime in with the people I'm forgetting. Luffy, Yusuke, Goku, Gon, Naruto, Ichigo, Natsu, Kenichi, Eren Yeager, Deku, Tanjiro, Yuji, Denji, Asta, Shinra, Hinata, do we have to do all the JoJos? There are too many fucking JoJos. I'm just gonna do a few JoJos. Do I do all the JoJos? I don't know. Well, I know Gintoki. I've watched Gintama, but I just haven't seen the series episodes. I put in Yusuke. Edward Elric. Good point. Edward Elric. Do we have to do all the JoJos? Agni. Oh, yeah, Agni from Fire Punch, right? We could do Agni. Boruto from Fire Punch. Boruto. There's too many JoJos. Ash Ketchup. I'll do all the JoJo's. Fine. Jonathan Joestar. Joseph Joestar. Jotaro Joestar. Josuke Joe. Is it Josuke Joestar? I don't know if he's called Joestar. Doesn't matter. Josuke. Shit, this is gonna take us a bit. Josuke. Giorno. Jolene. Johnny. Josephumi, right? Josephumi. Let's get in Guts. Let's get in Thorfinn. Oh, Saitama. His name is not Jotaro Joestar. You're right. You're right. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm not gonna change it right now. It's Jotaro Kujo. You're right. I don't know why I said. You're right. You're right. Jotaro Kujo is also an iconic name, so I'm sorry I got that wrong. Ken Kaneki, I haven't read and I haven't finished Tokyo Ghoul. I haven't seen enough of Tokyo Ghoul to say anything. I could say Light Yagami, Leluk, Spike from Cowboy Bebop, Yugi Moto. I'll put in Yugi. Fake JoJo fan. I just fucking forgot. Mob Psycho. I haven't watched Mob Psycho, so I'm not, or read Mob Psycho, so I'm not gonna throw that in. I could pull up my anime list to see all of the shit that I'm forgetting. Because I could put in like, what was the name of the fucking main character from Steins Gate? He's one of my favorites, but he goes by like three different nicknames in that show. I don't fucking remember. I got Itadori in. Oh, Ichigo. Did I put Ichigo in? Yeah, we got Ichigo in. Steins Gate main character. Okabe. Yeah, Okabe from Steins Gate. Wait, Remix King, can I get a confirmation? Can I get a confirmation, Remix King? I'm a little worried that I haven't seen a response here. Are you down to work on this? Yeah, Hoenn Kyoma is what he calls himself, right? Yeah, I got Okabe down. Kei Kuruno from Gantz. I could throw him in. Yeah, Kei Kuruno. Gantz. Oh, who's that guy from Beelzebub? Oga? I love that guy. Oga Tatsumi, yeah. Oga Tatsumi, Beelzebub. Kirito. Remix King, I've messaged you. I messaged you for the tier list on Twitter. I messaged you for the tier list. Kirito from Sword Art Online. Senku, I could throw in Senku. Remix King, can you confirm? Are you good with this? We can call it after this. We can maybe get in like one more character or something, or we can just call it. Oh, you're literally working on it right now? Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to rush you. Don't mean to rush you, man. Just checking. We got Eren Yeager in. I don't know. Oh, Red from... Oh, fuck. Remix King's gonna throw in some Pokemon fucking people. I'll rake him high, don't worry. Thank you so much, man. I got you. Thank you so much, man. All right. I think we're good. Let me read out our final list. Oh, I could do, well, would you consider, I consider Pekko to be the main character of Ping Pong. I could do either, though. I think he's got enough to work with right now. Let's leave it. Let's leave it. I don't read manhwa. I don't know. Boruto's dad? Yeah. No. No. Please ignore those. Only do the ones I've sent. I'm not ranking ones that chat is throwing in because I don't know them. Thank you. Sorry for the confusion. Alright. Alright, in the meantime, I'll answer. Okay, let me read out our roster, and then after that, I'll catch up on supers while we wait on Remix King. Everybody shouts in the chat for Remix King for saving the day, basically. Alright, here's our roster. Alright, you guys tell me who's missing. Luffy, Yusuke, Gon, Goku, Naruto, Ichigo, Natsu, Kenichi, Eren Yeager, Deku, Tanjiro, Yuji, Denji, Asta, Shinra, Hinata, Gintoki, Edward Elric, Agni from Fire Punch, personal pick, Boruto, all the fucking Joestars, or JoJo's, Guts, Thorfinn, Saitama, Light Yagami, Leluk, Spike, Yugimoto, Okabe, Kei Kurono, Ogatatsumi, Kirito, Senku. I think we're good. We're rolling with that. All right. Let me know if any Ping Pong. I'll do Ping Pong as the last request just because it's got a special place in my heart. Final request. Pekko from Ping Pong. I do consider him to be the main character. I thought we got Itadori. We got Yuji. I said Yuji. I call him Yuji. Yuji Itadori, same thing, right? But don't worry. I got a special spot saved for him right in D tier. Don't you worry. Don't y'all worry. Let me just message Civ while I'm at it. Check Discord and send shortly before time to start. Talk to you soon, man. Alright. Okay. I already got Gon. I got Yusuke. Oh, JWP, thanks for the... Thanks, man. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up on everything. First of all, thank you, JWP, for the gifted memberships. As usual, good people in chat. Shouts to... say thanks to JWP for gifting 3 memberships, actually. I'm sorry, 3 memberships. So, Leo Dog... Lil Pringles, it's a funny name, and Lou Goss. I say thanks to JWP. You guys got member status now. Just shouts in the chat as usual for JWP. It's always coming through. All right. Let me catch up on supers from the past. Okay, here we go. Dick so small, I piss on my balls, thanks for the 5. I feel like York is secretly working with Teach, greedy asses, to double-cross the world government and secure the Seraphim, hence Saturina Devon. That's interesting. That's actually a really, really interesting idea. That's a very interesting idea. I just don't know where the Saturn stuff can go at the... Well, I guess Saturn... I see what you're saying. So I feel like York does genuinely want to be a Celestial Dragon, though. York is supposed to be a very smart, conniving character, so her dealing with Blackbeard could actually make a lot of sense. That could make a ton of sense. Do you guys think that York might have actually let the Blackbeard pirates into the island? I wonder if that's actually a possibility. That would be a super long-term master plan. But getting to be a Celestial Dragon is already so valuable to York. I don't know why she would want anything more than that. Like, you pretty much got life made once you're a Celestial Dragon. Because the only thing that if you're a Celestial Dragon, everything's good. Wealth, luxury, never have to work, all your needs provided for, you live in just absolute decadence, right? The only thing you would want beyond that is like power, I guess. More power to, but you already get power over everybody below. I guess more power to like rule everybody. I don't know. So if York is angry to be Blackbeard's right-hand man, that is a very, very interesting possibility, though. I wouldn't put it past York. But I feel like for Garland, Garling is a fairly sharp character. So I could imagine him being on the look. Like, I feel like he might keep York on a tight leash. I wonder if it would be possible to double-cross them. Now, Show, thanks for the 10. You said you had a video idea for Blackbeard getting Luffy's fruit. Maybe look into Blackbeard's lineage. Okay, what if he's a D-related Joy Boy? Doesn't have his will, but has something better in his blood. I get that. I get that aspect of it. And that's interesting. But my bigger thing is, how can he get the fruit? Like, what would... We don't know any methods at the moment to get a fruit from somebody without killing them, right? Maybe Blackbeard's Devil Fruit allows for some sort of a shortcut, just because it's the Yami Yami no Mi. It has already some strange properties to it. So I could definitely believe Blackbeard getting Luffy's fruit would fit, and it could fit his lineage and everything like that. I'm on board with you on that. It's just the method of getting the fruit without killing Luffy. I've seen some people argue that maybe Blackbeard does kill Luffy, and then York immortality surgery or something saves him or something at the last moment. I don't know. Knut Worgen, thanks for the 5. Do you think Shanks could have taken the Nika fruit from Elbaf's king, which is why Loki hates him? But I thought it's been established that Loki ate that fruit. So I don't think that Shanks took the fruit, right? Because Shanks took the fruit from CP9 way back, right? So unless you think that Shanks took the fruit, I think or Cypher Pole, maybe not CP9. I don't think that tracks, unless it would, for that to track, it would mean that some piece of information that we've been given in the past is actually incorrect, and Oda was just lying to us, basically, right? Because right now we know Gomu Gomu no Mi taken from Cypher Pole, given to Luffy, right? Or Luffy ate it. Yeah, that's as far as we know. But yeah, Knut Worgen, I see your 2 supers. Thank you very much. Unfiltered Peace, thanks for the 5. Hey Morj, make few rows like enjoyment, character growth, themes, dynamics, parallels, goals, and then assign points to each category and then rank the MCs. Oh, first of all, thank you for your first super. That is a fun way to do it. Maybe we do it like that. It would just take a lot more time. It would take a lot of time. One of the things that I don't like when I do those sort of rankings with, because sometimes I'll do that stuff just for myself. One of the things that I find I don't care for as much when I do those sort of rankings is, like category by category, is that lots of times I feel like some categories matter more to me than other categories, right? So I can split up by like personal enjoyment, themes, character growth, etc. And then like someone like Luffy might score very low in character growth, but very high in enjoyment or something. And so then that would average him out to be like a mid-tier MC. But then at the same time, it's like, but in Luffy's case, I would weight the enjoyment quite a bit more. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it turns it into something that's a little bit too clinical and logical. And I find when I do stuff like that, it doesn't actually accurately represent, because like a lot of these things that are subjective, that are like how much you like or how much artistic value you place on something, a lot of times it's not the same as like an objective breakdown of something like actually concrete. Like if you were trying to break down, hey, what's a better phone, like my phone versus this phone or something like that, right? Because then you're going into specific features. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. So for example, 2001: A Space Odyssey, I love that movie, right? I think it's got an argument for best movie that I've ever seen. But if I were to break down category by category the things that make up a really good movie, then one of the things you might put down is like character writing, character writing, dialogue, stuff like that, you know? 2001: A Space Odyssey doesn't even really it has very minimal dialogue. It doesn't really have character arcs or anything like that. The character stuff is not the focus, right? But that's an artistic choice. Its strengths are separate, right? So I'd put a 10 out of 10 for direction, but if I were to compare it to something like The Godfather, which I will also put at a 10 out of 10 for direction, but then Godfather also has like really good character storytelling, really good dialogue, etc., then if you were to compare those two things side by side, it would seem like, oh, well, 2001 scores very, very low in character stuff, and it's only good at direction, visuals, etc., whereas Godfather is good across the board. Okay, that makes Godfather a way better film. But the reality is that's not how art works, because there's different goals and intent behind different concepts, right? So like 2001 doesn't need to have good character writing to still be just as good of a film as The Godfather. It's just a very different film. So that's why I don't like doing category by category for things that are art related, because lots of times some things are simply not the focus of let's say a given main character, like a given character or a given story or a given, whatever, right? And that would reflect poorly if you were to go score by score with the expectation that, it needs to math up to a certain final number that will determine how good this thing is. But I just don't, I don't think that generally works that well in these contexts, I try to evaluate these things a little bit more with, like, also applying the lens of, like, what are they trying to do? Oda's not trying to write a very dynamic, changing, fluid character with Luffy, but that might reflect poorly when you compare him to other characters in certain regards, At the same time, there are certain universal things that, like, you are trying to compare. It's tricky, right? Like, there's a lot of bleed crossover, right? Like, earlier in the stream, I criticized Ichigo for not having a motivation, right? But at the same time, or not having a very compelling motivation, right? But at the same time, I don't think, like, Saitama has a very compelling motivation, right? But I think Saitama is a significantly better main character than Ichigo, because the concept behind Saitama and the reasoning and how it fits into the story and the reason behind why he doesn't have a very compelling or deep motivation, it actually works with the concept of the character in a much more meaningful way, I think, rather than Ichigo, where I think that it's something that's just a bit lazier and doesn't actually bring anything extra to the story. So, it's complicated. You can't just put everything through the same lens, but all you can do is really examine, like, what is this main character? Do they succeed in traditional ways in terms of character writing? If not, is there a reason for why they don't succeed in traditional ways for character writing? A reason that fits and is congruent with the type of story that's being told and is actually doing something very different? You can consider those sort of things, right? The Lowman, thanks for the 2. Senku Dr. Stone, I got him down. Or Remix King has him down. Road to Laughter, thanks for the 5. Watch the video One Piece is More Important Than Ever by Big Dad. It had a profound effect on me, and I think it will for you. I believe One Piece is important. I'm on board. I don't really go out of my way to watch other One Piece creators' videos at this point, just because so much of my life is already One Piece. In my spare time, I don't feel like I'll go back and read One Piece, but in my spare time, I don't feel like going and reading up other people's video essays or theories or whatever on what's going on in One Piece. JWP, thanks for the 10, and thank you for the support as usual, man. Yo, Morj, I watched the Morjcast and left a comment. For those of you who don't know, the Morjcast is my weekly podcast. It comes out every Tuesday along with the video. You can catch it by being a YouTube member, a Yonko tier member on YouTube, or by being on Patreon. Basically said that the stuff about Yonko Cruise and Captain would be a super interesting video topic. Your off-the-top thoughts were already peak. Okay, so funny you say that, JWP, because after I finished recording that Morjcast, I literally, for next week's video, I considered making that next week's video topic, because I was just like, that was good enough to be a video topic, and it would actually be a really fun video topic, especially during a break week. However, I ended up going with a different video topic for next week instead. I've got that listed under lists of video topics, so I might end up making a video on that straight up in the next couple weeks or so, or down the line. But it's now listed. It's a topic that you will likely be seeing in a more polished video format at some point, because I finished that one and I was like, that was pretty good. Like, that was actually really interesting as a video topic in itself, and I could polish that up more and add a lot more depth to it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was literally almost the video topic for next week. Sam, thanks for the 5. Hey, Morj, your style screams Hunter x Hunter. Smart, sharp, and one of a kind. Thank you very, very much, man. I like it. Would love to see you tackle it. Keep being the smart king. Okay, you don't need to feed my ego that much. I appreciate it, though, a lot. Some people would call me stupid, so I appreciate the compliment as well. I am going to be doing a Hunter x Hunter stream this Monday. We're going to be testing out Hunter x Hunter stream, and especially with the break coming up, you might be seeing a Hunter x Hunter video from me, not next week, but the following week. So we're going to test the waters a little bit, because I do have stuff I want to say about that story. And if you're interested, go to Manga Morj, that's the channel, go to Manga Morj, and you can watch a Hunter x Hunter video essay that I did, not super elaborate, but breaking down the themes of the current arc that I have not seen any other YouTuber do so far. So you can check that out on Manga Morj. Still catching up. JWP, yep, I got Gon, Kurapika, and Yusuke. I got Gon and Yusuke, yep. Brandon King, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 7 months. 7 months, Suna from Reborn, Kenshin, and Mafia and Soul are all missing, if I recall. I have not seen Katakuri Reborn. I've not seen these things. So unfortunately, I can't put them down, Brandon King, because I can only really rate the things that I've seen or read. Ned Kettle, but thank you for the long-term support, man. Seriously. Ned Kettle, thanks for the 10. A Spanish channel, The Last Zoan, said that Robin saying the X on Luffy's arm looks familiar. Maybe a note of misdirection. We think she means Alabasta, but it may be a Void Sentry puzzle piece. She knows. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe they have some different theories in Spain, but I think it's much more direct, which is that Vivi is sending a message because she's with Morgans at the moment. I'm just going with Occam's Razor. That's the simpler explanation. Maybe there's something more to it. There was an X. Actually, though, you're actually right, though. I'm fucking forgetting because Emeth had an X on his hand. He had an X on his arm, right? So it might be something more. You might be right. I don't know. They might be right. Julian02, thanks for the 5. Hey, Morj, if you don't mind saying what cam and mic you use and any other equipment you'd recommend for streaming and video content in general. The camera, I don't know. It's some 4K camera that my webcam that my editor set up a long time ago for me, and it's been whatever. This is a Shure microphone, S-H-U-R-E. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. I would recommend that. It comes with a thing called a Focusrite and a cloud amplifier. But just look up Shure microphone. It'll come with a full package. That's a pretty advanced one. If you want something really simple, everybody starts out with a Blue Yeti. It's good enough. It's professional enough. Oh, shit. But if you want to start off a little bit stronger, you can go with the Shure microphone. I used to use a Blue Yeti. My audio here with the Shure mic is definitely a lot better. Trevor Barnes, thanks for the 2. Caught up to Dandadan episode 7 was incredible. React. I have seen so much positivity about the new Dandadan episode. It is pushing me to try the anime. I'm probably going to try the anime. And I did actually see a little bit of a clip on Twitter. And it was actually such a beautiful looking clip that I felt bad that I'd spoiled myself. And so I immediately clicked away. But I think I am going to try to catch up to Dandadan in maybe this weekend. Ramen Stains, thanks for the 5. Wealth, fame, power, the Tenryubito obtained this and everything else the world had to offer. Yeah, they did. Anyways, Remix King better add some Pokemon for tags. I'm sure that he did, man. Lucky Man, thanks for bringing the Pirate King to your member for 14 months. We've entered an era where Morj actively remembers Hinata and Haikyuu. Such a revelation after how long you put it off. Yeah, and I can rate him now. I mean, I can't accurately rate him because I haven't seen his full journey, so I can only put what I know. But I'll be open to discussion for Hinata. I've heard so many good things about him. All right. Enough of this. It's time to get into it. Let me see. Remix King, how's it coming along? Remix King, you got any update for us? If you got a list, then just drop it in here. Okay, actually, I didn't have to speed through it. Remix King is still going. Kenny says, when is Morj going to start the tier list? As soon as Remix King finishes it out, but let's give him some leeway because we gave him a shit ton of stuff to set up on that tier list. Dao says, Morj, please shave, bro. I could shave. I've promised this a couple times. I would do a shaving stream on camera. I'll shave the mustache in front of you all using my Manscaped razor, which is literally the best razor on the market. If you want Manscaped products, just go to manscaped.com. They have the best razors. You can get a huge discount using my code. I fucking forget my code off the top. I think it's code Morj50. Check that out. One second. Yeah. I don't feel like today. A little bit tight on time because I got a collab with Civ coming up at 3 p.m. So if you guys enjoy this, then you can watch me over on Civ's. Let me just ask him. Is this a live stream? Can send viewers over. Okay, he got through a sea of JoJo's. Okay, so he's still getting there. Yeah, I do have to shave. Maybe I might do a shaving stream on Monday. I will probably set a goal for it. So if we hit a certain amount, then I'll shave myself live on stream. Royalty says, I don't care what you do. Reality is nobody else has, because nobody cares about Dandadan. It's carried by animation. The thing is, though, I heard so many good things about Dandadan back when it was a manga. So it had a lot of hype before it became an anime, you know? Like something like Demon Slayer, I don't think it had hype before it was an anime, but Dandadan, I had heard so much good stuff before it was. Yeah, I see you, Remix King. I got Twitter up. Yeah, Dandadan, I saw a lot of hype for and people praising even before it got its anime. And I specifically remember last year we did a manga of the year tier list. We did a manga of the year tier list last year, and when we did the manga of the year tier list, I think that everybody voted, like people pretty unanimously were telling me put Dandadan in S tier, and that was just as a manga. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to compare a new series to One Piece, right? Like One Piece is in its own category, right? Like this is a tenured. It's like comparing like LeBron James to like someone new and up and coming, like I'm trying to think of something that's not insulting to Don Don. Someone like an Anthony Edwards, right? Like, right? That's fair. Like comparing a LeBron James to like an Anthony Edwards or something. Like these new manga, Don Don, Sakamoto Days and stuff. They're like Anthony Edwards or like Shea or like John Morant or something, right? They're like the new generation up and coming, right? Like One Piece is LeBron James. You know, it's like he's been there. He's been doing this for so long. He's the greatest, at least that we've seen. You could call Michael Jordan Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But like One Piece is the greatest that we've seen in decades and decades. And at this point, One Piece is just continuing, going strong, continuing to pile up the accolades, etc. Like last season, One Piece just won the in-season tournament. You know, like One Piece broke the scoring record. You know, shit like that is just continuing to go on. Right? One Piece is LeBron James, but there's newer series that are coming up. But there's just such a gap in longevity and resume and the type of story that One Piece has built at this point that it's not worth comparing. I'm sure that like I'm not saying that every One Piece arc or every One Piece chapter is going to be better than anything new series are putting out, you know? But it's just that like One Piece is a really, really fucking long epic that's still going and still building a really fucking unrivaled story overall so far, right? So these newer series, I expect them to be better, fresher, more fresh out, like hot out the gate or whatever, like maybe stronger arc to arc or like chapter to chapter than One Piece in many ways, you know? JWP says, so like we're not doing the stream then? We are doing the stream. We are doing the stream. Hold on. It's already 2:50. Oh no. Don't worry. No. Fuck. I'm giving away my location. But 4 p.m. EST. 4 p.m. EST. Don't worry. 4 p.m. EST. Actually, I'm going to ask him for some grace because I want some time to eat. Okay. I'm going to ask him if I could get 10 minutes to eat a sandwich. Okay. After the stream. Alright. Remix King's hopefully almost there. Ender Anami says, Morj comparing Michael Jordan to DBC fits because he wants to slander DBZ so bad but doesn't due to its status law. No, I mean, I think that Dragon Ball Z sincerely is the GOAT anime manga. I think it just is. Like, there's too much influence, did too much for the medium, did too much in terms of spreading popularity, and every series does pull from Dragon Ball at the end of the day. Not every series, but, like, it's all branching out from Dragon Ball, right? Like, all the tropes, everything. So I do think Dragon Ball is the greatest. I just think that if you were to compare Dragon Ball's story straight up to One Piece's straight up, like if they were both coming out at the same time, then One Piece is just clearly better, you know? I also believe, like, my personal opinion is that LeBron, at his peak, like, LeBron is the best player of all time, but I do think that, like, because things have advanced, right? Things, sports science, etc., is advanced, but I think that Michael Jordan, I would still say, is the greatest player of all time because what he accomplished in his time is greater, in my opinion, than what LeBron accomplished in his time, I still think that LeBron's the best basketball. Like, if I was drafting today, like, a team from scratch, would I take, like, LeBron at his peak or Michael Jordan at his peak? I would probably, from everything I've seen and my knowledge, I would probably take LeBron James first, before Michael Jordan, if I'm just drafting straight up from scratch. However, if I'm just comparing what they actually straight up accomplished relative to their time, I personally put LeBron second and Michael Jordan first in that regard. So I don't think that's a disrespectful take to either of them. You know, some people will argue it is, but yeah, that's just how I view it. So I kind of view One Piece and Dragon Ball Z the same. Like, I think Dragon Ball at the end of the day was like more significant, more influential, more impactful than One Piece for its time, right? I think it deserves the status of greatest, but I think if I'm comparing the two stories side by side in a vacuum today, I would say One Piece has a better story by far. LeBron, I wouldn't say is better than Michael Jordan as a player by far, so that's not quite the same. But I think that the analogy is still, you get what I'm saying, between greatest versus better. Lugos, thanks a lot. About Oda not drawing, are some examples of mangaka doing it? Is it really possible for a mangaka to separate their creativity between writing and drawing? It seems like a dual thing. I think that my understanding, from my limited understanding of like mangaka culture, is that a lot of these guys, the drawing comes first for them, and they view themselves as like artists first rather than storytellers. That's my understanding, and like they want to draw their story. So I think it's very, very tied together. Maybe somebody in chat knows like if a artist mangaka duo or something like that, but I personally don't. I know that they're always tied together. I know that assistants are very common for these mangaka, and over time they start taking on assistants to take off some of the load of their work. But yeah, I know that for them it's like this is the job. Like, drawing the story is the job, right? That's what their craft is, and they come in with the mentality that they want to be able to draw. So I think it's just for the consumers that over time, what we tend to really get attached to is the story and the writing. Eric J.O., thanks for the 2. Hell excited for the Civ collab, you two goats. Yeah, so I just found out that we're not streaming together. It's just going to be, an hour something discussion or something that Civ will probably release on his channel. So I can't direct you guys anywhere after this, but, you guys will be able to catch that at some point. I've never spoken to Civ one-on-one, so I'm interested, but people have told me to collab with him for some time. Unfiltered Peace, thanks for the 5. Deku's the worst anime MC ever, not Tanjiro or Yuji. I legit couldn't finish My Hero Academia because of Deku. Hashtag we need Deku slander. Okay, I don't know if he's the worst ever, but he's not definitely one of my favorites. Okay, Remix King has got it. All right, here we go. Twitter won't show the links properly? Oh, okay, I see. You sent it over here. All right, I don't know why Twitter's not sending the stuff, but thank you. Okay, first of all, hold on, let me see. Thanks so much, man. All right, everybody. First of all, big shouts to Remix King. First, thank you so much, Remix King, for putting this shit together. This is great. Let me share the tier list with y'all so y'all can see it in its full glory. Big shouts to Remix King. Everybody in the chat say thanks to Remix King. He put this shit together really fucking fast and really efficiently. Tell me if y'all can see this. Everyone can see this? We've got a nice, healthy roster of characters right here. Also, let's get the stream likes up to 100 so that we can get the stream started. The actual topic. I don't know if Deku's the worst, man. I don't know if he's the worst. I just want to see a sea of shoutouts to Remix King right now. A lot of shoutouts to Remix King. Also, let's get the stream likes up to 100. Also, I'm going to get another espresso. I just need one. Also, because you all were asking so much, I will show you again the beautiful artwork of Skypiea, Zoe, and finally Elbaf. And we, of course, have a day version of Elbaf as well. Those are all available in the Morj store, which you guys can easily find and check out. You can get all of those for your own walls. You can get them individually. You can get these beautiful works of art all together. You got Skypiea, Elbaf, Zoe. You got Elbaf day version, night version. You got Skypiea, you got Zoe. And if you want to get a bundle of 3 of these posters together, you also will get Chandra thrown in, to the Golden City of Chandra. So you get all 4, and you'll get 50% off all 4 of the posters. So if any of these catch your eye, they're being sold for the month of November. You can get it throughout this month. And yeah, if you want all 4 together, then you'll get 50% off the whole bundle. But you can also get them individually. So I'm just going to drop this here for you all. Just because I know that's what you all are clamoring for at the moment. But seriously, it's right there. It's going to be pinned at the top for the rest of the stream. All right, it's time to get into this. Thank you so much, Remix King. Thank you so much. I think so, I don't think I need to really promote these that much, because this looks like I'm not like, this looks fucking beautiful. Like, there's nothing really that I need to say about this. This is an absolutely beautiful work of art. The Skypiea one is my favorite, but Zoe also looks really, really fucking good. I think it's got a really interesting gradient going on. Feels kind of like a little bit of an acid trip. And then Elbaf obviously is fantastic. I think that's a phenomenal rendition of Elbaf, Starry Night style. I just think it's fucking beautiful. Skypiea would probably be my favorite. I got Skypiea, then Elbaf, then Zoe for this group, and Zoe's still really fucking good. E says, yo, it's been like a year since I've watched you. Nice hair. E likes my hair. Everybody else criticizes my hair. E likes my hair. Come on now. E likes the hair. Extra user says, has anyone solved the puzzle? Okay, nobody has solved the puzzle still. Nobody has solved the puzzle to the point that I have stopped promoting it. I've stopped promoting the puzzle. There is a Great Pirate Race puzzle that's a part of this. Hold on, let me see. Is this webcam facing me correctly? Oh my god. Alright, there we go. That's what it should look like. Sorry, it's tilted incorrectly. You guys prefer this framing? This framing is better, right? I'm sorry the webcam got tilted. But there is a... Loud Waffle says they do look gorgeous. They're fucking gorgeous. These are my favorite pieces of, like, One Piece Island art that exist. The puzzle is basically the Great Pirate King race. There's a code on the back of the posters. If you first person to solve the full code gets a grand prize. Nobody has solved it yet, and I've stopped seeing people talk about it. I think we're considering basically just making it easier for next month's batch to basically just make it like we want somebody to fucking solve it so that we could talk about it. But yeah, there is a grand prize that you can solve if that's just for fun. That's for competition. But the posters themselves are the main appeal, right? Okay. Lars Caesar says, is there no way to buy only Chandra? No, Chandra is kind of the bonus poster. It's the unlocked poster if you want to get the full bundle. All right. Hugo Tech says, any chance of getting them without the text? I literally never thought about that before. I feel like people prefer the text because the idea is that it's a travel posters, travel destinations. That was the whole concept. So that's why there's the text. Do you guys want without text? I'm actually kind of curious. Let me do this real quick. Bidey McGar says, what's the prize for solving need incentive? We've agreed that it's a mystery prize, but I think next month, I'm working with 2 other people here, right? So artist, and then the producer for the channel, the editor for the channel, right? I think next month our agreement was basically we'll explain what the prize actually is so that people actually want to compete for it. We never wanted the prize to be the main thing because we don't want people to feel like they're only getting the posters to get to try and get a chance to get the prize, because only one person gets the final thing. The Great Pirate Race aspect of it was just for fun more than anything, but we'll announce what the actual thing is for next month's batch. I'm not at liberty right now to say what the victory prize for the Great Pirate Race is, but ultimately the poster is supposed to be the main thing. We also used to bundle it with the stream and happy hour incentives, which you can still get, but that's just a upgraded bundle. So we want people to now be able to get the artwork just as is. We listened to the people. We understood a lot of people just want the artwork. Some people want to compete or some people want to get in on the streams and the happy hour. Those are different groups of people. And it seems like some people still want to compete for the Great Pirate Race. So next month we can reveal what it is, and then people who want to go for that can also go for that. Anyway, Little Pringles says, don't make it easier, that's lame. When initially the competition was thought of like solving the riddle for the Great Pirate Race, I thought it was too difficult. I thought people wouldn't be able to get it. My other two partners in this were in the mindset that people would eventually solve it. I personally think that people are not going to solve it. So I think we made it because it's multi-step. There's a code on the back. Like, I guess I'll drop a hint. There's codes on the back of the posters, right? You need to combine those codes. The codes work together to lead you to something that will lead you to something that will lead you to something. All right? So nobody has gotten past even step one of putting the code together. So we probably in my opinion, we put too many hoops for people to get through, because like we were just worried that it would be solved too easily, and so we probably overcompensated a little bit. All right, moving on. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the shit. All right, everybody. All right, first up. Oh fuck! Is this fucking Ash? God damn it! This is Ash. Oh my god! Oh my god! He did it alphabetical. Remix King. You fucking madman! You did it alphabetical. It looks like almost. Go Nageskas. It's almost alphabetical. Denji. No, it started off alphabetical, and then it seems like you gave up on the alphabetical aspect of it. But that's okay. It does not need to be alphabetical. It starts alphabetical. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. Okay. I will take people's opinions, but in general, I will probably be pushing my own opinion. Ali H, thanks for being a Yonko to remember for 24 months. Wano analysis was the friends we made along the way. No, there is an actual Wano analysis. There is that actual Wano analysis. It's coming. Unfiltered Piece, I think I already said this, but Deku's the worst anime MC ever. Not Tanjiro or Yuji. I legit couldn't finish My Hero Academia because of Deku. Hashtag we need Deku slander. I only know of Deku how much I've seen of My Hero, so I've not seen the latest season, and I definitely don't know how the manga ends. But I've seen a lot of Deku, so I have mixed feelings on him. He's not my type of anime protagonist, but I don't think he's the worst ever. Nerve AMV Maker, thanks for the 10. Given that Shanks only fights when he's pushed, do you think Mihawk's challenge Shanks first? I always got the impression Shanks challenged him. How did the rivalry start? I don't know. I don't think Shanks was always the mature character that he is, right? So he's a fully formed person right now. We can go back in time to when Shanks was a kid, and he and Buggy would fight tooth and nail over like what's colder, the North or South Pole or something like that, right? So I don't think Shanks was always who he is now today, right? He has to grow and evolve and become this man, right? Shanks and Mihawk, whenever they used to duel, it was at least over 6 years ago. I forget when it was stated Mihawk got the title of World's Strongest Swordsman or whatever. So Shanks at the time that we saw, or sorry, at least not 6 years ago. However far back, Shanks and Luffy, right? Like 12 years ago or whatever, right? So it was some time back that Shanks and Mihawk were having their duels, because it was before Shanks has lost his arm, right? Maybe Viva cards established when Mihawk got the World's Strongest Swordsman title, but I wouldn't be surprised if... does anyone know, when did Mihawk get the World's Strongest Swordsman title? When did Mihawk get the World's Strongest Swordsman title? Do people know? Was it stated in a Viva card? I don't know. I imagine that Shanks took some time to develop. Unfiltered Piece says Morj will put him the worst after reading the My Hero ending. I'm never going to read the ending. I might catch it in the manga, but I'm probably never going to take the time to read the ending. The only reason I would catch it in the anime... Sorry, I meant to say I might catch up in the anime, but I'll never read the manga. Because the only reason I would catch up in the anime is because my friend back home is big into My Hero. And so like if we hang out there, then I usually watch that with him. Okay. All right, let's see. We actually got to fly through this a little bit, because I got 47 minutes. Not the worst, but not the best. Okay. Hmm. Agni, I don't think Agni is I think Fire Punch is a phenomenal story and tight concept, but I don't think Agni is a phenomenal main character. He doesn't have a ton of character to him to latch onto. That's almost part of the, not the point, but like he is a very he's a very interesting character concept. But I don't find him like I'm never gonna think, oh, my favorite manga character is Agni is right up there. So Agni is from Fire Punch. I think he exists to execute a concept extremely well and communicate a message extremely well. I don't think he's a bad character. It's just not a very like Denji is a character that has very striking personality traits and leaves a very strong, lasting impression. The story of Fire Punch and what was communicated through Agni left a very strong, lasting. Like, I'll be honest, Fire Punch is probably my second favorite manga after One Piece at this point. I loved Fire Punch. Maybe that's recency bias, so I might take some time to think and sit on it. But it was a mind-blowing read. I don't think it was, like, the character of Agni is not necessarily it. What is communicated through the character is what matters, but that's also communicated through a lot of other characters in that story. Agni is just the main one that the story is told through. So I'm going to go ahead and put Agni in B. I don't think he's lower. I could, if people want to say higher. Yeah. Loud Awful says, yeah, I didn't continue reading Fire Punch for him specifically, but nothing wrong with him. Yeah. Greenstone says, Agni doesn't have a personality. It all went to Tagata. Yeah, Tagata. Tagata is a great character. All right, Ash. I think we can all agree that Ash is a great character. I don't think that there's that much more to him, but I think Ash is just fucking iconic as fuck, so we're going to put Ash there. I think Boruto fucking sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in D. But here's the thing: I'm not caught up in current Boruto. I only read like 5 chapters of it, or like a little bit opening parts of it. Okay, so I don't know what happens. Is Boruto a good character now? Does he belong somewhere else other than D? I might be going too far with putting Ash in A. I don't know. CT24 says Fire Punch has always mentioned Morj live stream every time this recently. Yeah, because it was a very, very impactful manga for me. It was a very, very impactful read. And if I'm being honest, it's reignited my desire to keep reading more manga. Because I'd really stopped for a while. So now I want to read Dandadan. I want to read Sakamoto Days. The manga that I'm actually finishing out right now is Fire Force. Just because I kind of want to see how it ends. And it's like a really fast read, so I'm able to skim through it very quickly. So I've got like 80 chapters left, and those chapters go by pretty quick. So once I'm done with Fire Force, then I'll try Sakamoto Days or Dandadan. My friend actually recommended Dore Hetero to me. I've heard good things about that as well. And obviously you guys all want me to rate Vagabond based on the winner of that poll that I did in the channel a while back. Basam El Madawi, thanks for the 5. Autumn/Yugi is such a great protagonist, especially in the Japanese dub. Deku isn't a terrible protagonist, but his story does not give him growth. I don't know where his story ends up, but I don't find him to be a terrible... I've always felt like Deku's not a terrible protagonist. He's just not my type of protagonist, and he just annoys the shit out of me. But I always felt like, well, I'm sure he appeals to a lot of people, that personality type and that type of character struggle. But he's just never been my character. But now I'm finding out more and more that people in general just don't like Deku. Ash has that legacy rank. Yeah, that's the thing. Like let's be real. Like, I don't think Ash is S. I don't think Ash is S. Because, so for example, you do get legacy points, right? You do get legacy points, but, like, I would put... Where's Goku? Do we got Goku here? Oh, we might be missing Goku. That's okay, but, like, if Goku was... Oh, no, we got Goku. Yeah, I would go ahead and put Goku in S. The reason I put Goku in S and not Ash in S is because while people do love Pokemon, and more people love Pokemon overall, I think, than even Dragon Ball... Like, Pokemon is ultimately, it's like, it appeals more to kids. I think as you grow older, you know, you have fondness for Ash, but, like, I don't think people, like, idolize Ash or whatever. Goku is, like, an all-time evergreen classic. Like, kids grew up wanting to be like Goku. Like, Goku was, like, there are so many kids who probably at some point in their life, like, they were asked, like, who's your hero or something, and then they wrote down Goku. Who do you want to be like Goku? Like, kids imagine themselves as Goku. Like, Goku is the epitome of a certain ideal for boys that I think just sticks from childhood to adulthood, and, like, there is nobody, not nobody, but there's very, very few people who like have grown up with anime and manga, and grown up with Dragon Ball Z or whatever, who like dislike the character Goku, and I think everybody still views Goku as like the grandfather of all of this shit that we're into, you know? I think like Goku just has a special, like, I think everybody appreciates Ash for what he meant for us as kids, but like I think even as an adult, most people still think of Goku as like that guy. You know what I mean? Like there's a fondness, like there's a love for Goku that you just see among anime manga fans kind of universally. That's kind of just very it never goes away. You know what I mean? So I would put Goku above Ash, even though they're most of both the legacy picks, right? Asta, I'm gonna go ahead and put in B. I used to fucking hate Asta, especially in the anime. He yells a lot, but over time I've grown to like Asta. He's very cliche and very boring in a lot of senses, but I don't think he's bad, and I do think he's endearing in some ways. How do you guys feel about Asta? Ender Anami says Goku is him. I think that's basically it. I think you would just say who's like Goku is him. You know, if you were to put him in like if you were to in the dictionary, if you were to look up the word him, it would probably be Goku. You know. Another point of difference is that I do think that people tend to watch Pokemon for the Pokemon more than anything, and Ash is our conduit to getting to see all of these crazy Pokemon and stuff and go through the journey of the world of the Pokemon. People watch Dragon Ball for Goku, right? And Dragon Ball has been like, obviously there's other characters we like Vegeta, Gohan, but it's a fucking short list. And like for most people, the guy is Goku, right? People for like decades and decades and different like reboot after reboot or like new series after new series, like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Daima, Dragon Ball however many movies or whatever. Like, it's all fucking this dude. Like, we're watching Dragon Ball for this dude, right? Okay, Kei Kurono. I don't like Kei Kurono that much. He was never the best part of Gantz to me. I think he's kind of eh. Edward Elric, I think, is A. I don't think he's an S-tier protagonist. I think that might be controversial. I think Edward Elric, I think a lot of people will put him at S tier, but I don't think, like, here's the thing. Is he as iconic as someone like Goku? No. Right? He doesn't have that. Is he as well written as someone like Guts? No. Right? I think Edward Elric is an example of a well written anime manga protagonist that, like, exists to be the lead in a story that is overall pretty well written, pretty airtight, doesn't have a lot of flaws or anything like that. Is solid all around, but I don't think there's anything exceptionally different about him. I just think that he's not really, like, he covers all the bases, right? I don't think there's anything exceptionally deep, exceptionally groundbreaking about his character storyline. He has some good moments, but not, like, I think particularly the moment with him pointing his finger and stuff like that. He has some good moments, but it's nothing crazy, you know? I think A is still really good. Just some guy with naturally wavy hair says Joseph and S, please. Joseph and S. I think I could put Joseph and S. I think Joseph is going to be at least A. The Final Storm, thanks to 5. Luffy goes through winter fighting without food, improving Haki/Gear 5 limit, juxtaposed to Linlin, who failed fasting during winter, which gave her power. Devil fruit. Oh, that could be an interesting contrast. That could be an interesting contrast in the prediction for Elbaf. The thing is, though, that I feel like this isn't really a test for him, though. I feel like he'll be out of the winter zone pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like, I think he can hop up and down throughout pretty easily. All right, Deku. I feel like Deku's C tier. How do people feel about my Asta pick? I feel like Asta is B. I think people would be upset with me if I put him A. Tanker says, I failed to see how Asta isn't way shittier Naruto still. But Naruto's a good protagonist. I think, say what you will about Naruto, I think you can say that he fell off towards the end, but I think he's an A-tier protagonist. I think Asta is a shittier Naruto, but I think a big difference is that Naruto had a very high, like, the peak of what Naruto is and what he represents is very high, and then the frustrating aspects of Naruto that come up later on with him, like, fist bumping and wanting to make friends with everybody, like, that would put him low, you know what I mean? Like, if you go back and look at a lot of the writing for Kid Naruto, I would put it up here. Like, a lot of the writing for Kid Naruto is very, very compelling, very, like, emotionally compelling, right? His arc is his arc and his growth just through his kid storyline is really, really strong, and his journey to actually becoming like defeating pain and everything, like it's very, very like very, very well done, right? You could actually argue Naruto for up here, right? But then I think there's the frustrating aspects of Naruto that bring him down quite a bit. So I would average Naruto out to be about an A tier character. Asta has nowhere near the great writing of Naruto, but I don't think he has the lows of trying to make friends with everybody and push like really annoying, but like I don't think he gets those lows and like Obito's the coolest guy. So that's why I feel like Asta around B is fine, because he is a shittier Naruto, but he also doesn't have the issues that I think a lot of people have with Naruto, you know? And if somebody wanted to argue that Naruto's S tier, I get it. I would just personally put Naruto in A. Like, say what you will about Naruto, but there's a reason that he's like the beloved character that he is by so many people, you know? Vinny, thanks a lot. Ichigo S for real, for real, for real. Do a Mohawk BTW. I don't think I can pull off a Mohawk. Yeah, if people want to say be Asta, be generous, etc. I mean, let's see. Let's let more things play out. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of my own personal biases. But I feel like I kind of got Asta at B. I think B for me is like fine, good, solid. C is like I didn't really care for them, and I have some issues with them or whatever. And then D is I think they're just straight up bad. A is I think very good, but not amazing. A is good, but not amazing. Denji, I think right now I'm putting in A. I think Denji is fucking... I think Denji in part 1, because that was when he actually had to have the majority of his character development, and he's still character developing. Like, he's a very well-written character, but you can be a very well-written character and still not... I think that there's still more that I would personally want to see from Denji. I love Chainsaw Man. You guys know I love Chainsaw Man. I think it's really only in part 2 that Denji has started to become... See, some people like Denji more in part 1, but the character is going in the same arc in part 2. I agree with that as well. I think that there's a lot of potential to Denji. I felt like his arc from where he was in part 1, or like beginning... Okay. So with characters, right? There's two aspects to how I feel about them. One is like their actual arc and growth and themes and all of that, right? And then two is how much do I like their personality and their whole shtick, right? Like they're just, how likable do I find them, right? So one is like, let's say, and I'm not trying to get into pure character categories or whatever, but like this is the broad way of how I feel about characters. One is like, how do I feel about the story, the messaging, the themes, the character arc, right? Character arc or character development, whatever you want to say, right? And then two is just how much do I like the character's personality? How much do I vibe with this character, right? For me, Denji is like a tale of two halves, where like in part 1, I did not care for Denji's character or his personality. I didn't find him likable, but I found that the arc that he went through over the course of part 1 was very well done. Part 2, it's flipped. The Denji that we have now, fucking like he's much more his own agent for the majority of part 2. He's kind of he's got like the power. He's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He does what he wants. He's like this very chaotic agent, and he's just a wildly selfish MC. I find that to be so much fun and enjoyable. However, his actual deeper character arc and character writing and the themes, etc., it feels like not as compelling as where part 1 took it. So with Denji, that's why it's tricky. You get what I'm saying? Like, I find him more enjoyable and more fun now, and like he's legitimately... Like, let me show you guys something. Read Chainsaw Man online. Alright, so like this, let me show you guys something. What is the chapter that Genji shows up and fights the this is like not a spoiler. It's not a big spoiler, but it is just a little example of something. Like it's just a little scene, okay? It's just a little scene. I think it's okay if I show a little scene, all right? So it's just gonna, it's a comedy scene more than anything, okay? So it's a mild spoiler, but I think it should be okay, okay? So, let's see. Hold on, don't want to spoil anything significant. Give me a second here, I'll just show you this. This is the encapsulation of Denji in my mind, all right? Fuck, why is this chapter so fucking long? What the hell is this? Alright, here we go. This is Denji in a nutshell. This scene represents Denji in a nutshell and why I love him so much, why he's so much fun in part 2. Okay, so mild Chainsaw Man spoilers. I'm not spoiling anything important here. It's just a little character display, okay? That's funny, okay? So this is a big battle. This is a giant monster or whatever, right? He grabs... so Denji's playing at hero here, right? So he grabs a person and then he grabs a car, right? And he's giving Denji a trolley problem. I've got these two, a person and I've got a car. One student with a bright future, or the 5 old geezers and grannies in this car. Which will you save, Chainsaw Man the superhero, right? This is, in my mind, the perfect representation of who Denji is and why I find him so much more fun than any other anime or manga protagonist, right? Because if you think Luffy's unpredictable, Luffy is unpredictable. But Denji is something else, all right? One student with a bright future, or 5 old geezers and grannies in this car. Every fucking anime manga protagonist is saving one of these two, right? Alright, so they both fall. Denji fucking slices the fuck out of this guy. Kills him. Alright? Fucking shot of this dead student with the bright future. Shot of the fucking car with the grannies or whatever. Fucking all dead in the burning wreckage too. This is fucking dark as fuck. He did not give a fuck about either of them. There's a cat too, dude. Right? This is unique as fuck. Alright? This is Denji special, Denji exclusive. This is what makes Denji fun to read for me. Because it's not even like purely nihilistic, none of this matters. Like, oh, I'll let this guy die, and the car, like, everybody in the car die. Like, it's 3 levels to it. Like, one, which are you going to save between the two? So, like, most shonen MCs are going to find a way to save both. Maybe a darker MC would, like, make the hard choice and pick one of the two. An even darker tactic, or even a darker slant would be, like, just let both of them die, right? And that's the most nihilistic, like harsh MC of all. But Denji's just on his own other outside-the-box left field, where it's like, I don't, like, these are just probably some shitty humans or whatever. I will let them both die, but he still has a heart. He saved a cat, and he legitimately values, like, he's a good person at the end of the day. It's just that his morals are so skewed, and it fits with the commentary that Chainsaw Man has on human nature in general. He believed that it was important to save this cat, and he fully believes that it's more important to save this cat than saving, like, 6 people. And he has, like, an actual reasoning for why that is reflected over the course of the story and, like, a lot of the themes and ideas of Chainsaw Man. So it's not even just dark for the sake of being dark or edgy. Like, it's a very out of the left field, outside the box decision that seems to go against what any other MC would do morally, but at the same time, there is a moral logic to it. It's just Denji's own chaotic, very, very, like, very, very unique style of decision making that's just so fucking unpredictable, and it's fucking funny, it's hilarious, it's dark comedy, but it's also, like, heartwarming in a sense. That's why I love Denji's character in part 2, because now he gets to be this fully realized version of himself, but at the same time, I do agree that in terms of growth and writing and all of that, like, it does seem as though it's not as sharp as it was in part 1. So I enjoy the character more in part 2 to watch and just function and do what he does. But in terms of, like, the arc that he's gone through, the arc in part 1 was a lot better. I actually didn't like Denji in part 1, but I appreciated the arc. Whereas in part 2, don't really care for the arc because it feels, it doesn't feel that fresh, or I still need to see where it's going. But I find the character more fun to watch. So sorry if that was, like, a long tangent, but just wanted to share my ideas on Denji in a small way. I wish I could do Chainsaw Man content. I mean, I can, but I wish I had more time for it. Okay. Gon, I put Gon in... I want to put Gon in B, but people get mad at me, so I'll go ahead and put him in A. I think that if you exclude the... I get what the point of Gon was, and why a lot of his writing was leading to the storyline in the Chimera arc. I get it. I just don't find him enjoyable whatsoever. I found him enjoyable for, like, one stretch of the story, and very interesting the direction that the author went with him and the point that he was making, but I still just don't find Gon... I want to put Gon in B. And I'm just going to say that, like, I think it's interesting that almost no Hunter x Hunter fan will tell you that Gon is their favorite character. I feel like that says something, right? I kind of want to put Gon in B, but people are going to be mad. I'm putting Gon in B. I'm doing it. People are gonna be pissed. I'll be honest. For me personally, if I were to do my ranking for my favorite MCs, it would probably be like I'd put Gon below Deku, straight up. I like Deku more than Gon. I don't care for Gon. I keep having to fucking say Gon. Natsu, let's go ahead and put him in C. No, D. I think Natsu. Natsu's had some fun moments. I don't think Deku's as bad. I think Natsu sucks. I think Natsu fucking sucks. I used to like Natsu early in Fairy Tail until it just became a loop, a never-ending loop, an incessant loop of the same shit and same cheesy. I'm all fired up over and over and over and over again. It never ended. I hate Natsu. Gintoki, here's the thing. I know that everybody says Gintoki should be S, so I'm putting him in S. I've only ever watched the I think Hunter x Hunter is phenomenal characters. I just don't find Gon to be one of them. Don't view this as like me insulting Hunter x Hunter. It's just hard personal preference, and it's not like I don't understand the character. I'm just saying like most of the character's strength and like the depth of his writing, the messaging around the character came from one arc. For the rest of the fucking story, I had to read this fucking annoying ass, like shallow ass version of like a standard MC. I just don't find him. There's just very, very little. Like in every single arc, if I were to break down the stronger points of the arc and like where stronger writing, themes, etc. came from, it's almost never Gon. It's just the Chimera arc, and it's just a section of the Chimera arc, really. I could see. Look, if people want to say Gon's A, I get it, but this is my list, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Gintoki, I'm putting him in S. Let's say this balances out the Gon pick. I'm putting Gintoki in S for the people because I have not finished. I've only ever watched Gintama's comedy episodes. I used to only watch Gintama's comedy episodes. I would treat Gintama like a sitcom and watch exclusively comedy episodes, okay? That's because I had a friend who got me into Gintama, but he only ever showed me the joke episodes. So I watched a lot of Gintama for comedy, not for actual writing. So I'm putting him up there because people say that, like, I found Gintoki very, like, fun as a main character, but I didn't love him because I didn't see all the good writing stuff, but I found him very fun and enjoyable, right? So if I were to rank him, I would probably put him around here or something like that, but that's because I haven't seen the actual good writing stuff of him. So with all the good writing that I assume I haven't seen, I'll put him in S for the people, okay? Gintoki's a for the people pick, Gon is against the people, it balances out, Giorno! I think Giorno is one of the weaker JoJo's protagonists. I think him and Jonathan are relatively weak. I think Giorno is genuinely kind of bad. I just think that there's very, very little to Giorno. I think the message around him is just very, very... It's too bland. There's not much. Like, he doesn't have a fun personality like a Joseph. He doesn't have like an edgy personality like a Jotaro. He is cookie cutter, but then at the same time very idealistic. But he takes a back seat throughout most of the story. He's mainly just very idealistic. What he symbolizes is good, but I just find it very, very. There's not much more to it than that. I'm gonna put Giorno here. People might find that controversial, but I think that Giorno is generally the weakest part of Part 5. This is that Pokemon guy from, this is Red, right, from Pokemon Adventure, so I have to put him here because Remix King said I have to. Hinata, I haven't seen that much of. Hinata, I've not seen that much of. I mean, like, you can compare Giorno to Deku. There is more to Deku. There's more depth to Deku. There's more writing to Deku. I even find Deku's personality to be at least a little bit more... Like, there's something to it than Giorno. Giorno's just, like, ideals the character. That's how I view him. Hinata, I've enjoyed reading him, but I have not gotten far enough into Haikyuu to really have a strong opinion. I know people really like Hinata, so I'm fine putting him in A or S if you guys want. Ichigo, I'm going to go ahead and put in C. And I used to love Ichigo. Ichigo used to be, like, my guy. Ichigo used to be... In middle school, I loved Ichigo. I think... To date, I think, like, if you were to ask me what's the most shonen moments that you can think of, period, I think the most powerful singular, like shonen moments is in, like, oh, check supers? My bad. Remix King, thanks for the 2. Morj refresh list. I fixed some of the pics of Goku slash Ash, etc. What if will it erase what I've got here? Will it erase that? Here, let's just open up a new tab and do it. What? I don't understand. Alright, unfortunately, I appreciate a Remix King, but for time's sake, we're gonna have to stick with this. I can't figure this out. JWP Texas 5, Killua is a better character than Gonlol. Yeah, and I still feel like even Killua, I just feel like Hunter x Hunter is better characters than the two of them. And I feel like they serve their purpose well as being like the characters that we get to travel through this world with. But I just feel like Gon is not the full, he's not enough of what I would like out of an MC, and I just don't find him enjoyable. Yeah, anyway, Ichigo used to be my guy in middle school. Again, like the most shonen-y moments I can think of, like in terms of classic traditional what shonen type tropes in writing are. Luffy, Usopp, Lucci scene in Enies Lobby. That's the most powerful, like, protect your friends moment I can think of. But if I'm trying to think of like badass shonen moments, like Ichigo used to be the king of really badass shonen MC entrances. Like the scene in Soul Society arc where he shows up at the hill, the sequence of him stopping the execution thing, then defeating all three lieutenants barehanded, and then finally kicking Byakuya's ass and revealing Bankai. That whole flow is just pure. It's like just one extended, just like cathartic sense of just holy shit. This guy finally rose up and is like just shitting all over these frustrating characters that have been like harassing the shit out of him and his friends, and he's just showing them all up at the same time. Remix King sent another link. Let me see. I would have to start the list all over again, though. We don't got time for that, Remix King, unfortunately, but I do appreciate it. Don't just chill. Just sit back and chill. You've done enough for the stream, man. I appreciate it. At this point, though, like, I'm watching 1,000-Year Blood War in the anime, and the most frustrating fucking character to read is, like, or watch is Ichigo. Like, there's just nothing to him. Like, I'm watching him show up and, like, try and attack Ewok. Like, so every other character is more interesting than Ichigo. Every other character brings something more interesting to the table. I'm watching Ichigo show up with his friends. It's just like, okay, so I've just got to... What am I protecting today? Okay, I'm protecting... Okay, it's the Soul King. I'm protecting the Soul King. All right. And it's like he's doing whatever. He's getting frustrated. His dialogue is very, very repetitive. It's crazy repetitive. Like, Ichigo's dialogue is just on a fucking loop. I'm watching him yell at Ishida. He's like, Ishida, what are you doing? And he yells the same question at Ishida like 5 different ways across 2 separate encounters. It's just him yelling Ishida's name and asking the same question in the same sort of like cringy sort of Bleach way. I don't know. Like, I just don't care for Ichigo at this point. I could low-key put Ichigo here, but he had such high highs. Like, Ichigo at his highest for me was like up here. I've got him here now. Johnny, I feel like I want to put Johnny up here. I think Johnny's a great character. Jolene, I think, is a very strong character. I would put Jolene up here. This is Jonathan. Jonathan goes right here. Fuck. Josefumi. I think Josefumi's... Is this Josefumi? Yeah. Messiest JoJo by far. Just the messiest JoJo by far. Poorest execution of a concept by far. Very interesting potential in terms of his past and discovering his identity. And so much of it was disappointing, and so much of it had very little meaning. Not emotionally compelling, messy writing, and in his conclusion, it actually just tried to, like, it felt as though Araki had very little concept of how to properly conclude his storyline in a compelling way. And so he actually fell back on a lot of the same things that he did with Johnny, but just copied again for Josefumi, which knocks him down several pegs. So I just think this is a bad MC at this point. And I like Part 8 overall, but Josefumi was not it. Yo, Morj, the one you put in S is gold, not red. Red is coming up. They both deserve S, though. Yellow is A or maybe S. Curious to hear your thoughts. Well, because I'm a big Pokemon Adventures fan, I only care about red. So gold is going straight in D, because we all know we're only red stands here. Red is the best. Joseph, I think, is A. I could put Joseph in S. Joseph is a fucking fun ass character. I have half a mind to put Joseph in S. He's a fucking fun ass character. He's my second or third favorite JoJo. Jotaro's my favorite JoJo. Joseph is S, but it just feels weird because like the characters that are in S so far are characters like Guts, Johnny, who genuinely have really phenomenal writing to them. Joseph really doesn't. He's just a really fun personality. I remember I kind of broke down like how I view differently like characters having a really fun, likable personality versus characters that just have really deep writing, right? Joseph is the epitome of just fun, likable stuff. Goku is only here because of Goku's just fucking iconic and very just the impact that he's had and what he means to everybody, including myself. It's just unrivaled. And then you guys told me I have to put Gintoki here. Or I know I'm supposed to put Gintoki here, so I put Gintoki there. I think Joseph is a hard A, but I'm going to keep him an A. I'm going to keep Joseph an A. Josuke. I like Josuke. I think Josuke's... I think Josuke could go here. Okay, hold on. There needs to be another tier. This is what I'm realizing. There needs to be another tier. So this is like, S is like great. This is very good. We need a good. This is like fine. B is like fine. All right, here we go. So I'm going to add a row below. Here we go. Now we're cooking. We're adding a row below. What color is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be, I guess that. All right. E. All right. Is this the best way to do it? I should have just swapped the rows. It's okay. Yeah, I think these are just bad. These are just weak, in my opinion. E is like bad. This is like weak. C is like solid. So C is not, and then B is like good. A is like very good. Okay? I think I'm dropping Naruto to here. I'm going to put Denji here for the moment, even though I love Denji. Hinata, I think, is supposed to stay here. People say good things about Hinata. I'm going to put Jolene here. Jotaro, I fucking love. Even though he's fucking shallow as fuck. Jotaro is the most fucking... He does grow over the course of multiple parts, but there's no deep writing to Jotaro. There just isn't. But I just love Jotaro. I'm keeping Jotaro here. Alright? GC Skull, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 5 months. Hey Morj, I missed what you said for Ichigo, but you are wrong. He is one of the most realistic protagonists based on personality and internal conflict. I think people mistake, like... So, realistic as in, like... How do I say this? When you want a very realistic character, that... Okay, so in storytelling, right? If your argument is that, well, the character is very realistic because they don't have much... like, their motivations are very basic and simple, right? And that, therefore, makes them realistic. You have an argument there, but then you actually genuinely want to go really... Like, if you want, like a realistic character that actually gets at like very human emotions and like very human psychology, right? Then you're looking at someone like Denji. Ichigo is not a deep dive into like actual human emotions, actual human problems, actual like human psychology or anything like that, right? He's not like a Denji. He's not like an Asa, right? He's basic, right? He's more so, he's realistic in the sense that he's the basic shonen template, but without any additional deeper motivations added to him, right? There's nothing deep about Ichigo's, like, ruminations, you know, him being in the internal Zangetsu world for the 50 millionth time and, like, arguing with his fucking inner hollow and, like, old man Zangetsu for the millionth time. Ichigo is just basic. You're missing realistic, you're conflating realistic with basic. If you want to go very realistic, right, then you need to actually be delving into very real human problems and real human emotions, right? That's... Like, Ichigo doesn't really do that in any sort of meaningful way. He's just like, you're saying realistic in the sense that he doesn't have a greater goal, like becoming Pirate King or Hokage, but that's not what the argument is. The argument is, like, every MC already has the same shit that Ichigo has, which is, I want to protect friends. They all want to do this. They're all on board. Everybody wants to do that. You already see that in all these fucking... They're all doing that, right? But they all have some more motivations that separates them from the pack. Ichigo doesn't have that, right? Continuing on. All right. Do I feel good about this? No, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about what I just did. I think I actually shouldn't have separated. I think keeping them all together was fine. Can I undo? Here we go. Oh, but I can't move characters back. All right, I don't think I should have moved Naruto back. Naruto's a good character. I think I just felt like Jolene was too high, and that's really what got me. But it's fine. I'm gonna keep Jolene in A. I think Jolene's a good character. I think I was doing it fine before. I'm gonna go more broad than anything. Here we go. Yeah, I shouldn't have dropped Naruto. Naruto deserves to be an A. I think Denji also deserves to be an A. I'm gonna keep these guys here. All right. Kenichi, I think Kenichi is fine. I think Kenichi belongs here. I think he's fine. This is Leluk. No, who the fuck is this? Oh, this is Kirito. Kirito can go straight in D. Leluk, I like Leluk. I'm gonna put him in A. Light. I fucking love Light. I would put Light in S, but I think a lot of people don't like Light. Waikoyo, thanks for the 5. Thanks for your first super ever. Hi, Morj. Just got off my first day at my new job after losing my old animation job. Oh, shit. Thanks for improving my days during my unemployed era. Thanks, man. I really, really appreciate it. I'm happy that I was able to make life a little bit, at least provide some entertainment for you during that era. Congratulations on the job. And you're an animator. That's got to be a fun job. I'm sure you got a lot of insights on the One Piece anime. I'm sure you get upset a lot with my One Piece anime takes because they come from a place of ignorance. Yeah, but sorry, I'm just seeing people's reactions to me putting Light in S. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, congrats on the new job, man. Light is S. I'm putting Light in S. All right. Leluk, I never finished Code Geass, so maybe Leluk's supposed to be an S. I don't know. I'm gonna keep him in A for now. I just love Light. I love Light, and it always frustrates me when there's arguments about who's smarter, L or Light, and the overwhelming consensus is that L is smarter, and then they kind of diss Light for, playing things stupidly or being dumb or whatever. And it always hurts me because, I always like Light a lot better than L. And I don't have, a strong defense for Light. I do think that L was probably smarter at the end of the day. I just think that people... ignore lots of small situations where Light definitely got the one-up on L. I think it was meant to be portrayed as more even. It's just hard to portray it as even when, one character does have the godlike notebook and everything like that. I don't think it's as cut and dry as people say. And I did find Light to be an endlessly more entertaining character than L. Light is Death Note, Light is Death Note. The series would work with Light and no L. There's other things that you can do that make it interesting. You can't have a series like that with I don't think L would work as the protagonist of a story as well as Light worked as the protagonist of a story. Honkshu, me, thanks for the 5. Shanks became a Yonko 6 years ago and Loki got locked up 6 years ago. Are these events connected? Was Loki the pirate Shanks snitched on? I don't know if Shanks snitched on Loki to the Gorosei, but it would be an Oda move to have Shanks have a mysterious scene without the reader ever being able to guess who Shanks is talking about because the character's not introduced yet. I do think it's very possible that Loki has a grudge or beef against Shanks because of Loki being defeated by Shanks some time ago and that establishing Shanks as Yonko. L was fighting a whole demon 2v1. Come on, man. L had the whole country on his side, the whole government on his side or whatever. I mean, I'm kind of misremembering things. And Ryuk didn't really help L or Light. Ryuk was just chilling, eating apples and shit. I mean, I don't want to get into it because I know it's a losing argument. I know that L ultimately he had the more of a uphill climb than Light, but I'm just saying lots of individual scenarios that were portrayed as equal. Light getting the upper hand, winning certain intellectual exchanges, then L winning certain I think it's kind of reductive to just say that like Light had the notebook, etc., and then L didn't. Like at the end of the day, like Light had to give up the whole notebook and everything. Like he gave up and just became like a normal dude for an extent. Like he took huge risks to defeat L, and there was an extended period of time where like Light had no advantages whatsoever and was just a normal dude, and he had to overcome L like that. Like I don't know. I think that like his planning was just really, really, really like it's really crazy what he pulled off at the end of the day. You know, like I think it's underselling. I think if you really go back through the story and really like break down each individual scenario, it's not as cut and dry as like Light had god powers and L had no god powers. Like I think it's more complicated than that because like what Light was trying to accomplish was very specific, right? He could have just like gone on like he could have just really, really fucking abused the notebook, but he specifically wanted to shape a world in a certain way. And so like if he wanted to be like an arbiter of justice, right, then he is working with like some self-imposed rules, right? Like if Light just abandoned entirely what he's working towards, then yeah, he could have probably abused his advantage a lot more. But I think people just ignore the fact that Light had certain motivations and like wanted to play in a certain way. Like he wanted to accomplish certain things and didn't want to and was very dedicated to accomplishing those things. And because Light stuck to his goals, that gave L things to work with in terms of trying to catch him. You know, I just think that it's more complicated than people put it out. I'm not saying L is not smarter than Light or whatever. I just think that, I mean, I'm biased. I like Light a lot better, but I just don't think it's as cut and dry. And I do think that the story is trying to portray the two as being relatively evenly matched intellectually, and that's where the fun comes. It's not supposed to be like one dumbass with a notebook going up against like a super genius who's way smarter than him. I don't think that's the concept of the story. Luffy, easy. Who the fuck is this? Who am I looking at here? What is this? Oh man, is this red? Is this red? No, this is red. This is red. There we go. There we go. This is some other Pokemon character, right? Am I right? Is this a Pokemon character? Pokemon goes there. We only like red here. We don't like the other Pokemon characters. Get on in here. Can someone clarify who's this character? Jolly D. Joestar, thanks for the 2. Goku and S, explain. It's not necessarily for depth of writing. It's influence, impact, the fact that many of these characters are all originating from a tree that began, like they're all part of a tree that began with Goku. And just the fact that like at the end of the day, Goku has so much impact and holds such a like I don't view Goku as a well-written character, but right off the bat, I'm going to say that Goku's one of the greatest characters of all time, just in terms of like how much he's affected me, so many other people, etc. And like just it's not a logic thing, it's just intuitive. If I think of Goku, I'm like, that's that guy. Like that's fucking Goku. That's a guy that like we all put on a pedestal for so long. That's Goku. Oh, that's from Soul Eater? No, I haven't seen Soul Eater. I'm gonna get rid of this character. Sorry, I haven't seen Soul Eater. Lilligant Master 87, thanks for the 10. I think Gold deserves higher. He breaks the mold of a traditional Pokemon trainer to me by using unconventional strategies. He starts out immature but grows into his role as a responsible protector, of course. And I have definitely read Pokemon Adventures, so I agree with your arguments there. Because as we all remember, when Gold was in the Gold section of Pokemon Adventures and was he was gold, he said it's golden time, and then he went gold mode. That was a really good scene, so we'll put Gold in C. I agree with you. I'm on board. Big fan of Gold as well. What the fuck? I don't know who this is either. I don't know who this is. Who is this character? I'm putting Okabe in from Steins Gate into S. Think he's a great character. Peko, I think Peko's like an A. He's a good character. Saitama, I think, is a solid A. Senku, I think, is like, I put Senku as an A. I find Senku to be a very entertaining character. Shinra, I think, is a solid C. I put him below Deku. I will borderline want to put Shinra in D. There's not one time in Fire Force that I've ever been excited for some shit that Shinra does. He has cool abilities, so sometimes the abilities are exciting enough. Also, let's get the Streamlines up to 150 real quick. Spike from Cowboy, I'll make him an S. Tanjiro, I think Tanjiro's a solid B. I think Tanjiro's a very solid B. Thorfinn. I'll put Thorfinn in S for what he once was. At one point, I would have put Thorfinn at the very top. I would have given him his own tier, possibly. But at this point, I'll put him in S. Eren, the jury's out for me on Eren because I haven't finished Attack on Titan. So I'm actually going to go ahead and not rank him. Because I know Eren's a very controversial pick. And so, like, Hinata, I haven't finished Haikyuu either. I'm not even close. But the difference is that at least with Hinata, I don't think he's a controversial character. You know, I think people won't get too upset if I put him in A or S, whereas with Eren, he's polarizing, right? So people either think he's the GOAT or people think he sucks. So I don't want to put him anywhere. Wait, he's from Beelzebub? Wait, this is Oga Tatsumi? That's not Oga. I've read all of Beelzebub. Well, to be fair, I've never watched the anime of Beelzebub, but that's Oga? Is that Oga Tatsumi? Okay, I mean, I love Oga. I'm going to put Oga in A. I think Oga's great. Beelzebub is the funniest manga that I've ever read, but I just don't reckon. He doesn't look like Oga. Look, here, let me show you the Oga that I know. This is the Oga Tatsumi that I know. I mean, I recognize him, although I've really only read the manga. He does look, no, I mean, he looks the same. He doesn't even have a Beal on his shoulder. You need Beal on his shoulder. Okay. Alright, it is what it is, but that is Oga Tatsumi. I'm going to put him A. Yugi, A, easy. Yuji, C, easy. I mean, I think Yuji's a D, to be honest. I think it's disrespectful for him to be in the same tier as Deku or Ichigo. Or I think Shinra can take it. I think Shinra can be D, too. I think Shinra kind of sucks. Yusuke. I think Yusuke was good. I liked Yusuke. I think this is good. I feel good about this. I think C tier could be a little bit bigger. Let me see. Is there anyone from the bottom tier that I want to bump to C? Bottom tier bump to C. I feel good about this. I'm going to leave it. I think it's okay. I think maybe Shinra could be C, but I don't like Shinra. All right. The GOAT, thanks for being a Pirate King term member for 5 months. Thoughts on Loki's bounty being special because the world government wants him alive for his fruit. Also saw this online that Loki's plus Luffy bounty is 5.6 bill. I saw that too, and that is a really interesting point. So I do wonder if it's supposed to be something related to the concept of like Nika, whatever. I will say, or maybe it is the Gomu Gomu no Mi, like some people are speculating. The world government wanting him alive for his fruit, I think that's possible, but then by that logic, wouldn't the world government, like, wouldn't Law's bounty be a special bounty? Wouldn't Luffy's bounty be a special bounty? I figure it's a special bounty just because, like, Loki's not out and about, but rather he's not really a pirate or something like that. He's just his own entity. And so, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really... Maybe it's because he's chained up at Elbaf that there's not, like it's a special bounty in that he's already captive, but he's captive by another party, which is the Elbaf Giants. And so it's a special bounty in that they want a prisoner who's already being held by a different group. But I don't know. Maybe it is for the fruit. Remix King, thanks for the 5. Personally, gold is S, while yellow and red go into A. Red had some character flaws that, although drive the plot of the yellow arc, make me dislike him. You know what? That's a solid point regarding Pokemon Adventures. Let's go ahead and do it. But unfortunately, there's only... But I'll just put him where I don't remember which one's gold. Gold is this one, right? All right, we're gonna go ahead and put him here. And red, I agree. He just doesn't he's just not as good as the other colors, in my opinion. Doesn't live up to being the main character of Pokemon Adventures, I suppose. All right, everybody. This is what we got. I think these are great characters across the board, including the Pokemon Adventures characters that we all know and love. I think these are very good characters that either have some certain flaws, in my opinion, that or are just not quite pushing themselves over the edge to be like in this tier or something like that, but I still think that they're good. These are fine. These are solid main characters. Nothing exceptional about them, in my opinion, but they're solid. They do their job. These main characters are weaker, in my opinion, but they're not bad. And then these guys suck at the bottom right here. These guys suck. I think they just suck. I could go ahead. I'll put Giorno here. I'll go ahead and do that. Just so we got some more characters here. But yeah. I could even put Shinra here. I could see myself putting Shinra here. Shinra's like fine. Shinra's fine. JWP, thanks for the 10. You gotta watch Gintama. Like half of the top 10. I'm gonna put Shinra back. Like half of the top 10 on my anime list are just different versions of Gintama. I know, and it's a little fucking annoying to go to my anime list to try and find a new anime, and it's just like Gintama Season 1, Gintama Season 2, but they're all labeled different things or whatever. And all weirdly labeled. It also has a couple spans of like 20 episodes straight that are minimum 9.6 IMDb. Seriously, Gintama's got tier. I've watched Gintama, but only the comedy episodes. I'm down to watch the full series, but it's really long, which I know is a dumb excuse because I like One Piece, but I think Gintama's lower on my list of things that I'm likely to get into at some point. Even though I know it's really, really good, it's just, I know it's going to be a journey. It's a long, long journey. Logan Pittman, thanks for the 2. Didn't Vegapunk say there is no Gomu Gomu fruit? I forget whether or not he specifically said that. I don't remember. I mean, shouldn't somebody at some point have just wanted the power of rubber rather than the power of Nika? So maybe it exists, but I don't know. Lilligant Master 87, thanks for the 2. The one you moved is yellow. Also, yellow is a girl. All right, you know what? That's it. They're all going in S. Let's do it. All right. I don't know. I don't know who's who. Not because I haven't read Pokemon Adventures, but just because I forget right now. I of course love Pokemon Adventures, and I've read all of it. All right, there we go. There we go. We did it. I'm moving Jorno back to D. He just doesn't belong. He doesn't belong. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. We figured out who the greatest anime and manga MCs are, at least out of the ones that I've watched/read. Apologies, some of them I haven't finished out, like, Hinata's story or something like that, or Leluk's story. But yeah, this is what I got. All right, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. And next stream will be a Hunter x Hunter stream, so go make sure to check that out on Monday. We'll be covering the new Hunter x Hunter chapter, and I'll be sharing some of my Hunter x Hunter ideas with you all. And maybe we dip our toes into me releasing a Hunter x Hunter video. So watch out for that. All right, everybody, thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to you all later.